The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode.
Happy 4K Blues Day, everybody. Brought to you by whysoblu.com. Back again for another week. Right up front, still no giveaways yet. We'll work our way there. Some big, cool announcements have been coming recently, like in the 4K front. Stuff just falling out of there. Like Disney's back doing Fox titles. They got Heat in 4K, Speed in 4K coming. And then on the Sony side, Taxi Driver finally is coming to 4K Ultra HD. That's going to look gorgeous. I can't wait to pick that one up. Just cool. Lots of things coming around. Scream Factory yesterday made a big ol' announcement for May, where one of my favorite slashers I like, He Knows You're Alone, is finally coming to Blu-ray. That one has the cinematic debut of the beloved Tom Hanks, so that's exciting. They have Eyes of a Stranger, which has a very young Jennifer Jason Leigh in it. That's another slasher. And The Hand. And then it's that Oliver Stone early project of his, as well as the 1970s King Kong with Jessica Lange, Jeff Bridges, Charles Grodin. Putting that one out there for my man Yancey, Jack Burns there. He's a big fan of that movie. I keep trying for that one. I've watched it many times. There's a lot I like on it. There's a lot, like so many right ingredients, but something about it is maybe it's pacing. It doesn't work for me, but it is a bit slow of a movie. I used to love the ride based on it at Universal Studios. It's now The Mummy, the Brendan Fraser Mummy. But hey, so there's that. I've got something related to those Scream Factory titles, or two of them, a little later on. Pick of the week this week, I don't have it. It's a tradition. It's back. It's a Parallax View from Criterion. It's making its debut on 4K Ultra HD. It's found on HBO Max. It's the second film in a thematic political trilogy of thrillers. Begins with Clute, and then has the Parallax View, and then All the President's Men. You've probably heard the latter one the most. Then you've probably heard of Clute. Well, the middle one has Warren Beatty, the Parallax View. I'll show it to you the next time I do one of these. I might not have an episode next week. We'll see. There's a commentary coming next week for Silence of the Lambs, and it's going to be really great. So far it's got me, Aaron Neuwirth, Scott Mendelson, and Yancey Burns talking about it, and that'll be dropping maybe in this spot next week, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now, on to the stash for this week. I only got one review title, and then I've got the one I mentioned last week, but I made some fun with what we got here. First up, we got Freaky, which comes out today. It's the Freaky Friday take with a slasher with Vince Vaughn, and it's pretty sweet. Catherine Newton, it's the first thing I think I've seen her in. She's going to be in an Ant-Man movie, and I really love this movie. Made my top 10 last year, and it was really surprising. They gave me a thick-spined case with no Eco-Saver thing on it. I like that. But my review for this title is up at whysoblu.com. It's got some deleted scenes. It's got some really quick, fluffy featurettes, but they are spoilerish, and I like the gore one, goes into some nice details. Next up, as promised from last week, I have the Target Steelbook for Do the Right Thing. Spike Lee film, still one of his best, still a powerful film, sadly still a relevant film. Why? Gotta do that. So here we are, 4K Ultra HD. Haven't popped this in yet. Looking forward to doing so. It's a great movie. Pick it up. Maybe not that edition. Maybe it's the regular one, but pick it up. Now, this week on Blu-ray sees Scream Factory's My Bloody Valentine getting a steelbook release, so I thought I'd pull up their old one here. This one came with great excitement. I had the original Lionsgate one. I did sell that off when this came out. No need for both. And this version rocks. So it's got the old original cover. And here we are. It was a 2-disc set. It's got a lot of new bonus features, but I have to dock it, man. The interviews were really long and repetitive. They gave like a questionnaire that shows on screen to each person and asks them the same questions, and you get a lot of the same stories. It's really cool. Like, oh, information overload is a plus, but I think what would have helped this one is if they had time to take all the interviews and wrap them up into a retrospective documentary, so it wouldn't feel like I'm hearing the same story or the same attributes about a person they worked with over and over, or what this scene was like. It was a lot of people with a lot of the same stories over and over. Mentioned earlier, Scream Factory, talking about those releases. They seem to be working their way through this old DVD box set called the Twisted Terror Collection, which collected 6 films. And as you'll see, Eyes of a Stranger was one of those. This is its old release here. This is a cool set. It wasn't too expensive. Nothing spectacular about the things. Got the hand, of course. That one's coming. This one's got Michael Caine. Hand. And it previously released from Scream Factory was Someone's Watching Me, the John Carpenter television movie that he did. Bam. And this one they did From Beyond the Grave. Go with that. And then here's one that this has been on Blu-ray before. It was in a double feature. I can't remember the other film. Out of print and goes for a lot, but I'm sure Scream Factory's salivating at the chance to put out Dr. Giggles again, possibly a collector's edition. It's gotta be, as I say, on the docket. And lastly on this one, this is like a dream one I want. It's Deadly Friend. It's a Wes Craven film. No, not one of his best, but it's bonkers. It's got some crazy stuff in here. Kirsty Swanson getting her head exploded by a basketball. It's a really weird movie. There's presumably a director's cut of this around with a lot of cut footage. Apparently makes it make a little more sense or a little better. I'd love to see Deadly Friend come on Blu-ray. If not for nothing, just Wes Craven's filmography needs to be represented, at least on Blu-ray. Lastly, tomorrow I'm going to try something different. My segment on the podcast called Old Space Show is going into a new Old Space Show. We just finished the first season of Space 1999, and Jim Dietz was my co-host for that one, called him co-captain. And we've completed that, so I'm now moving to a different science fiction series and a different co-captain, but companion this time. We're moving to something you know I don't shut up about, Doctor Who. And the episode, well, we're going to go into the Colin Baker era, and we're talking about his first year. And I know that people are like, "Who? You're starting there? Why would you want to turn people off?" No. I think that I'm of the opinion that every doctor is someone's favorite doctor. And my companion on the show, Rachel, he's actually her favorite doctor. And, you know, no matter what you think is popular or least popular, every one of them is someone's favorite. I think it's a fascinating era of the show to talk about. There's a lot of changes, a lot of controversies start to come in, a lot of battles. You know, the show was just riding high, and here's a point where things weren't going so easy for it. I think there's a lot of merit to this era. I have some favorite stories. Perry, I love Perry. So there's that. But it starts with the Twin Dilemma, which this quite possibly could be my least favorite serial in all of Doctor Who. Not great. But, and you're like, you even own it on DVD? Yes, I bought it. I didn't own it, but I did buy it for research for this one because I wanted the extra features, because this one is not on Blu-ray. Colin's other season, the Trial of a Time Lord, it was his Blu-ray debut. I personally, this is from season 21, by the way. This is from Peter Davison's last season. Colin Baker is the Doctor for the last 4 episodes, and that's where we're starting the Colin Baker era. Colin Baker merch that I have. So I've got this little not Lego guy of him. Don't really have a crazy amount of stuff. I've got this guy. Doesn't he? He looks. He doesn't look right there, right? This is a Titan figure. And then I have my ass. Of course, I have the Eagle Moss Colin Baker, 6th Doctor, from my personal favorite story of his, Vengeance on Varos. Very good detail. He pouty. You're going to hear me talk a lot about how I like Perry, Nicola Bryant. I have a figure of her. They have not made an Eagle Moss figure of Perry yet. This is her from The Caves of Androzani, which is Peter Davison's final story. But this is what she's wearing when the regeneration happens, and then also in the beginning of the Twin Dilemma. This is Perry, as played by Nicola Bryant. And then I've got a cool thing. So on my laptop bag, I've got like weird little amalgam of pins, but my Doctor Who representation is a 6th Doctor thing. I've got his cat pin right there, if you see. He wears a cat. There's a lapel. It does change, but that's the one he has in Vengeance of Varos and Attack of the Cybermen. Really like that little kit one, and he touches it for good luck. Oh, also, I'm wearing a Colin Baker shirt. I love this sweet, sweet shirt. This art from, it's like a Doctor Who annual. You can get, they have so many awesome shirts from Hot Topic. I'm not like, oh, Hot Topic's great. It's just, they got some cool art on them. So that's what I've got. That starts tomorrow. I'm going to start putting it on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, please do. The first episode is a bit long because we introduced Rachel. We kind of have to let people know what's going on in Doctor Who when this starts. And then we dive into a discussion about the Twin Dilemma. The other ones, it's about 50 minutes, but the other ones should be like 15 to 20, just like the other old space shows. But we had a lot of ground to cover to build up, especially when you're jumping into season 21 of a show. So anyways, thank you for listening. You probably listening and watching. Appreciate it. I hope you're having a good time here. Hope you enjoyed what I had to show today. If you're a distributor and you like your product or movies or whatever shown on here, feel free to give me a shout at naptownnerd@gmail.com or mail at thebrandonpetersshow.com. You can find me on social media. Twitter and Instagram at Brandon4KUHD. And that's all for today. You can catch me tomorrow, Old Space Show. Thursday we'll have the not live, but video version of the Monday episode, Top 10 Soundtrack Songs of the 90s. It's a lot of fun. Go check it out. If you like these, check that out too. You'll have a lot of fun. But until then, always remember to keep the positivity in your online film chatter.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.